If you run an online shop, you know exactly how this goes. Your inventory starts in a closet, then it takes over a corner, and boom, before you know it, it's a full-on invasion of your garage. Your car's living on the street, and you've got boxes stacked to the rafters. So let's get into this because it's a huge problem with a huge tax question attached to it.
So the big question is, can you actually get a tax break for giving up your garage to your business? It's a question every single home-based seller has definitely asked themselves, probably while tripping over a box of packing supplies. And the answer is yes, but oh, it is complicated.
And here we have it. Yes, you potentially can. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This is a major red flag for the IRS. It's a high-risk audit area. To get this deduction, you have to follow some of the most particular, most strict rules in the entire tax code. And if you get it wrong, it can be a really expensive mistake. Okay, so wait, how is this even possible? Normally, the home office deduction is all about exclusive use. That means zero personal stuff happens in that space. Ever. But there's this special little loophole, a carve-out in the law made just for sellers. It's called the inventory storage exception, and it is the absolute key to this whole thing. Think of it like this. You've got two different worlds here. On the left, you have the standard rule, which is basically a brick wall. Your kids play in that room for 5 minutes, deduction gone. But on the right, you have the inventory storage exception. This is like a special side door. It completely waives that super strict exclusive use rule, but only if you have the keys to get in. And those keys, well, I like to call them the 5-point gauntlet. To unlock this deduction, you can't just meet one or two of these tests. This isn't a pick and choose situation. You have to pass every single one, all 5, without a single slip up. So let's break them down. All right, here's the official checklist, straight from the tax code. Number 1, you sell products. For an Etsy seller, check. Easy. Number 2, you're storing inventory or samples, not your tools or equipment. Got it. 3, you use the space regularly, not just for a week around the holidays. And 4, it has to be a specific measurable area, like the 10 square feet along the north wall. But it's number 5. Oh, boy, number 5 is the real killer. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the single biggest landmine in this whole discussion, the sole fixed location trap. This right here is the number one reason that small business owners get this deduction denied in an IRS audit. If you misunderstand this one rule, your whole claim can just fall apart. So what does it really mean? Well, sole means what it sounds like, one, only. It means your home can't just be your main business location, it has to be your only fixed business location. There can be no other. And what the IRS considers an other fixed location is surprisingly broad. And listen, this isn't just me talking. This has been tested in tax court. In a famous case, Hamburger versus Commissioner, a seller was denied this exact deduction. Why? Because he also sold his stuff from a booth at a flea market. The court was crystal clear. They said that booth was a second fixed location, which meant his home was no longer his sole location. Deduction denied, game over. So think about how this applies to what you do every day. That recurring booth you have at the weekend craft fair, that could easily be seen as a second location. Putting your beautiful handmade items in a local consignment shop, the IRS might view that shop as another business location for you. Heck, even using a co-working space a few times a month can blow up this deduction. Okay, so let's imagine you've passed the sole fixed location test. You only sell from home. Great. Now we need to talk about the garage itself, because this is where the technical written law crashes head-on with the forensic reality of an audit. And for whatever reason, garages are a huge red flag for auditors. Here's the core of the problem. On the left, the law says the exclusive use rule is waived. So technically, you could park your personal car in there. But on the right, you have the forensic reality. An auditor walks into your garage and sees your personal car parked there. Their brain immediately classifies that space as personal. It's just human nature. And they become unlikely to approve the deduction. The car wins. All right, so let's say you do everything right. You clear all the hurdles. You don't sell anywhere else. You've kicked the car out of the garage. You're still not totally in the clear. You have to ask yourself, is it even worth it? Because claiming this deduction can actually set up other financial traps for you down the line. First, something called depreciation recapture. When you eventually sell your house, you might have to pay taxes on the depreciation you claimed all those years. It's like a loan you have to pay back. Second,
If you get audited and lose, you don't just pay back the deduction. That new higher income could push you into a higher tax bracket, meaning you owe more taxes at a higher rate, plus penalties. And for some people, lowering your income with this deduction can accidentally cause other problems, like making your Social Security benefits taxable or jacking up your Medicare premiums.
So if after hearing all of that, you're still thinking, hey, I qualify and I want to do this, then you need to prepare for battle. You can't just write a number on a form. You have to be ready to defend it with what we call irrefutable evidence. You need to build yourself an audit survival kit. So what's in this kit? This is non-negotiable. You need detailed, date-stamped photos of your storage area, clean, organized, looking like a business. You need a floor plan of your house with that space clearly marked and measured out. You need inventory logs to prove that what you're storing is for sale, not your personal collection. And finally, you need records that show when you stored things. If your shelves are empty for 3 months, you can't deduct for those months. You have to prorate it. So what's the bottom line here? The verdict is this. The car factor is a really big deal. If you use your garage for any significant personal reason, especially parking your personal car, this deduction becomes incredibly vulnerable. An IRS challenge is highly likely no matter what the technical exception in the law says. So now the question comes back to you and your business. Now that you've seen the 5-point gauntlet, the sole location trap, and the cold hard realities of an audit, is this deduction a smart move for your Etsy shop, or is it a trap just waiting to be sprung? The answer really depends on whether you can meet every single one of these tough tests.